This is Inside Out by MeRCURY. Me. We want to start off by thanking the private art collector who's chosen to purchase this entire series. It's 5 panels in total, and first we will discuss 2D, Emotion Kings: This Too Shall Pass. This is 2D. As you can see, it is wonderful. It is beautiful, or at least that's how we see it. We want to start by talking about purple. Purple being is a representation of our inner working mind, as are all these characters, but in particular, we identify most as purple. It is our favorite color. It is our signature color of what we see ourselves when we represent ourselves. But that being said, we're also represented by green and red and yellow and even black. We represent all the colors, all the inner workings of our mind. But beyond that, we also have our green character, who is telling our red character to go away, that our red character doesn't belong here, all because the purple character said for the red to go away. Now that's not very fair, because that's not really showing love to all of yourself. It's only showing love to parts of yourself. And without all of ourself, we can never truly love ourselves. So now we want to focus on our yellow character, our yellow being who's coming through on another plane of existence, who's not quite shown up on this side, is behind in another dimension taking place simultaneously as these other characters are represented in a 2-dimensional field. Next, we have, one second. This is our first time making a video specifically about our art, so we're apologies because we're a little nervous, but we're super excited to share with you. So, our next panel is 3D, Guardians of the Mind, Worlds Collide, and Dark Expansion. So as you can see, the darkness has grown from the first panel. It is now enveloping more of the background in the other dimensional plane, with tiny little specks that have drawn forward, coming through to this new dimension. And as you can see, our character, our yellow being, has even started to develop, coming through, splitting through the old dimension of the second dimension and coming straight through into this third dimension. As you can see, there's still a debate going on between our 3 characters, our purple, green, and red. Now, purple is clearly telling green a lot of things, pushing an agenda, an idea, and not allowing red to really feel part of the group. As represented here, you can see the mask that red feels that she, because red is a she, that she is feeling. She's feeling neglected, rejected. She's feeling separate from the group. And green is taking it all in, while purple, again, is still trying to just push purple's agenda without actually taking into consideration that red is still part of the team. But that's okay, because our yellow being, which we're not sure if you can quite see, we'll zoom in a little here, is coming forth, ready to emerge and create a whole new world. In our next panel, as we travel up, is our fourth dimension. Animal Force Rangers, Harmonic Convergence. Now, in this scene, we've had some major shifts happening. Our yellow being has completely come into this dimension to be with the other animal force. As you can see, the darkness is also expanding much further into this realm. The darkness is still on the other side, but it's definitely coming through more and more. We have our red being who's now connected with the yellow being, and a spark of new color is emerging, a new growth, a new development between these two, an evolution, if you will, or harmonic convergence, as we like to call it. And then over here, we have our turtle and octopus, our purple and green characters, ready. They can see the darkness coming in, and they're ready for a battle. They're ready to fight. Purple latching on to green, ready to be there and support, but also influence in purple's own way. As you can see, purple tends to be a little overpowering with their feelings and emotions and their energy, while green is always ready to fearlessly attack adventure and come forward and do green's thing. He is kind of amazing. We forgot to mention, he's a he. Oh, well, he, we, she. We're not sure about that one. Maybe it's a they, a them, or a he. Maybe it's a he. Anyway. That's about all we got for that one. Again, we're doing the best we can. It's hard because it's the inner workings of our mind, so it's a little bit vulnerable for us to share, and we wish we were doing a little better, but again, this is, our first time. We'll get better as we continue to grow and learn, just as we all do. So, our next panel, as we move up, is 5D, the precious gems. Sparkle, resonate, and fuse on. Now, this piece is showing a lot more development. As you can see in the 5D realm, very much like the real 5D realm, there's a lot more power. There's a lot more energy that resonates off of each being. And we wanted to represent crystals as they are themselves. Like, crystals are super powerful energies. They have energy beyond. Like, crystals have been doing their thing for a long time. And anyway, we're not gonna get into all that right now. But as you can see, the darkness has continued to grow and expand, and it's even enveloped even more into this front dimension, while still growing in the back dimension as well. As you can see, the green being, the green crystal, is ready to fight, ready to attack, and is jumping in to go. The purple being is resonating and calling forth to call back our red being, who is now merging with the yellow being to create a orange being. And now, as you see, the purple realizes the misgivings of trying to reject the red, and realizing that the red and the yellow and the orange need to come together to be a part of the team, because only together can they defeat the darkness. Green, again, is still ready to just jump in, ready to take over and fight the darkness without even a second thought. And then our last panel, for now, is 60, the Justice Fruits. Hop into the shadows. And as you can see, orange has now emerged. No longer is it red and yellow coming together, but it's fully formed into the orange being, as you can see, represented by the orange. And then we have our purple being, our grapes, and then our pear, green. Darkness has truly taken over a lot of the sixth dimension, ready to take over. But we have our justice fruits ready to fight, and now that they've all come together and decided to work as a team, they're ready to hop into the shadows and really take charge of the situation. Now, we know we didn't necessarily do the best job of describing our video or our artwork, but we wanted to just share a little bit about the inner workings of our mind and how we see things. You know, our minds are so complicated, and our reality is so complicated. We're going to try to adjust this just a little bit so we can see all 5 panels. Let's see. There we go. We're going to adjust just a little bit more. Again, we're a little nervous. This is our first time really focusing on our artwork and trying to make that the focal point, because we're an artist of many talents, and visual arts is one that we're still learning how to represent properly, because we love to create, and we'll spend, I mean, we spent, we don't even know how many hours on this, well over 50 hours between sketches and coming back and forth by what kind of dimensions we wanted, and all the different layers to represent, because this is also a representation of how we came about. You know, we use we instead of I, because in our mind, I isn't all of who we are. We're not just one, we're many through multiple dimensions, parallel dimensions, and even these beings themselves are representations of other people who've influenced us. You know, the green represents a family member, along with the red that represents a family member, and even the yellow represents a family member who's influenced us in ways that have now become a part of us as well. So it's hard for us to share sometimes, because it is so deeply personal, and we thought it would be easier to share this, but it's really not. You know, art is so personal, and is such a joy and fear to share with all of you all. But we hope you enjoyed our inside out and got a little snapshot of who we are on the inside. And we clearly need to work on preparing a little bit more of what we want to say about these pieces, but anyway, they're getting ready to be shipped off to our very lovely art collector who bought these before we even finished them. And you know, they mean, again, they mean so much to us. They're super personal. They're about us on the inside, and we wanted to express that on the outside. And because we are in multiple dimensions all the time, that's just who we are, what we are, and how we feel. So we're gonna go through the names one more time just to finish it out, and then we're gonna close this thing. So again, this is our series, and we're just gonna step into the frame for a moment. And yes, anyway. Inside Out is the name of our series. We're MeRCURY. This is 2D, Emotion Kings, This Too Shall Pass. 3D, Guardians of the Mind, Worlds Collide and Dark Expansion. 4D, Animal Force Rangers, Harmonic Convergence. 5D, Precious Gems Sparkle, Resonate, and Fuse On. And then finally, 6D, Justice Fruits Hop into the Shadows. Now, eventually there will be a 7D, but that's not ready yet. We still have to figure out where that's going and how that's going. So again, Inside Out. by MeRCURY.